it's really been an honor playing with Doublelift. Before boot camp, he has been playing so well. So I mean, I had a low ball estimate, but he's been doing really well. I've been doing really well, and together we've been playing extremely well.
I love playing with Special. He's got 3 years of experience. He's smart. The plays that he made early game, they were godlike plays. I can't even describe.
Bot lane, it's not just AD or it's just support. It's like the synergy, and when both sides do well, you're gonna do well as a whole.
Welcome back to the 2013 League of Legends All-Star Weekend. Thank you for joining us at home and here in the stadium. It's time for our first All-Star Team matchup of the day. The North American LCS versus the Korean LCL.
And the winner of this best-of-3 series will move on to face the Chinese LPL squad later today in the team tournament finals.
So let's take a look at these rosters. What do they have in store? In the blue corner, it's the Korean LCL All-Stars. In the top lane is Shy, jungling in Sec. Ambition in mid, Prey at AD carry, and Godlife on support.
And in the red corner, the North American LCS All-Stars. The top laner is Dyrus, the jungler, Saint Vicious. In the mid lane, it will be Skara. The AD carry is Doublelift, and at support is Special.
All right, so coming into this match, most of the world isn't giving North America a chance against a Korean team that melted Europe in 2 games.
Well, honestly, you look at Korea, and you're like, man, they have 2 members of Azubu Frost who won the World Finals. Of course, now there's CJ Frost. I mean, their individual skill is loaded. Most of them actually reached the finals of the skill tournament.
They have 2 of those victories.
Yeah, exactly. They're 2v2, and their jungler actually won the skill tournament, so they're just stupid good. I mean, you saw the 2v2 finals was against the North American squad, and they won. Prey and Madlife beat those guys. We'll see if that changes in this match, though.
All right, but I think North America has been surprising people by how well they have been playing this weekend. They brought out an extra little boost of energy.
They tried really, really hard for this. They practiced a lot over it at the Curse House. They've kind of made themselves an early game team. They tried a late game comp once in Game 1 against China. It didn't work so well, but they said, okay, we're going to go all bruiser, hyper aggression. They've started out strong every single game. Saints ganks have been super strong as well. So, that's really, really big. Doublelift has also been on point. You heard that in the interview. Special said he was in good shape. Pulled out a pentakill yesterday against Europe. That was
Both
huge.
Both of them complimenting each other, just back and forth.
Exactly. The players individually are on point. The only problem they have is closing out games. Their scrims have gone so well, they haven't had to fight for a victory yet.
A plague of North America for quite some time.
Yeah.
So coming into this match, there has been a lot of smack talk flying from the Korean All-Stars. And with 3 players winning their skill competitions, including the 2v2s matchup, so far they've been putting their money where their mouths are.
제 생각으로는 제일 잘하는 선수 몇 명이 눈에 띄는데 그 선수들을 막고 나서 저희가 생각하는 전략을 쓴다면은 쉽게 북미를 이길 수 있지 않을까 생각하고 있습니다.
세인트 비셔스 선수가 초반에 많이 휘졌는데 이제 그걸 막아보도록 하겠습니다.
탑에서 당연히 다이러스보다 1인분 이상 더 해야겠죠.
제 생각엔 한국의 더블리프트 선수보다 뛰어난 선수들이 더 많다고 생각합니다. 제가 몇몇 선수들이랑 좀 많이 친한데 말해보면은 자기가 다 더블리프트 선수를 이길 수 있다고 말하는 선수들이 많아요.
I was talking to Special about just going home right now and what would happen if we just lost. I think we both came up to the conclusion of it would feel good to come home into the arms of, all this hype and fame that we just got. But it would feel a lot better if we just crushed these smug Asians.
Before we get into Champion Select, let's check out who you think is going to win this matchup, because I think the teams already have their own opinions. According to LOLesports.com, 60% of you think that North America will advance to the team tournament finals to face China. They've had that much of an impact.
I mean, it's a Western site, so you could maybe consider bias there, but the NA squad have looked very good. Let's consider the facts, right?
That's true.
Game 1, Korea versus Europe, they faltered early on. They got hit a little hard by Diamond's ganks, and they had to come back for that one. And North America has always had a strong early game. And, I mean, again, they nearly beat the finalists here, right? They nearly beat China in Game 2. Certainly, there's a lot of validity behind getting behind the NA squad here. They've looked better as a region than I've seen them in years.
So how do you feel about the defensive strategy? If they're going through winning the All-Star matches by themselves, then they have the ability to just defend single lanes and win it out.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, you know, they talk about how doublelift is beatable by anyone in Korea, and that, you know, whoa, we're just better players, we'll just win because we're Korea and our individual skills so good. But at the same time, I mean, I want to see that being proven here because individual skill can mean so much. It's kind of how Quantic won the North American promotion tournament by just winning their lanes and be like, well, we're up 10,000 gold, we'll just close the game out now. I want to see if that happens here.
All right, we'll have to see what goes down through picks and bans. The Globals getting a bit of respect here between both teams, and as we were discussing before, once Korea gets into their picks, they like to kind of give you that ambiguous. You're not sure if it's the top or mid, but you've been saying Ambition has been a big choice for them.
Ambition has gotten the first pick from Korea both games so far. First game was first pick Jace, and then that got banned out, so they first picked Diana.
And it's banned out now? Yep.
Yeah, you know, and Diana is a choice champion for Skara. They say, no, Rumble is more important. That was actually Dyrus' big pick. I think they banned... Dyrus was banned... Rumble was banned against Dyrus three times so far, and the Koreans say, look, Rumble's more important to us than Diana here. They've already banned out the Rex, they've already banned out the Shen, so they've removed a lot of choice champions from Dyrus. The other champion I can think of him playing is Malphite here, and he played Malphite against PDD's Rumble and lost that lane. So, you know, the North Americans grabbing Diana away from Ambition.
It's kind of a rough matchup for Malphite.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
They look for the Kazakhs. We have seen Dyrus play the Kazakhs, not so much Skara, but it was the get away from Dyrus game, and he was quite slippery on it, so it could give them the safety they need to start off the early part of the game as well.
Kazakh surprises me a little bit here from the North American team, unless they've been practicing it in secret. You know, it's not really a Dyrus or a St. Vicious type champion.
Right.
More of a Scar. Ooh, wow. So, okay, so the interesting thing is both Diana and Ryze are Skara champions.
Yep.
And I haven't really seen Dyrus play Diana, let alone top lane Ryze either, so I'm curious to see where those picks go.
On top of that, right, they're taking away Diana Ryze from both Ambition. Shy's Ryze has been ridiculous lately.
Yeah, he's been crazy on point. He played it in the OGN quarterfinals. He played it both games on the first day of the All-Star weekend overall, and he's been super on point there and hasn't been shut down. He's been carrying his team. And so, yeah, both these teams are really stealing away picks from each other.
And it's super safe lanes. Like they said, we guard and we'll do that. We can sit back, hit out with Thresh, leave Rumble in the top lane. If he gets a few kills, that's going to be damn good for us because Rumble just starts going very early, but they have a team fight comp as well.
Exactly. This is going to be
equalizer.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens here because Rumble can play both situations. Yeah. He can play, I'll go in with my team with the equalizer. You can run it for Flamesplitter afterwards, so you can see hardcore initiators come in for the rest of this this LCL lineup here, and then Caitlyn can just sit back and be by herself. We saw that from the Chinese LPL squad actually in their most recent victory. On the other side, though, you've got a lot of opportunities here from the North American team because you can follow in with Diana here, you can follow in with Lulu, and then is it going to be a Graves who follows up as well, or is it going to be like an Ezreal or Varus who sits back?
Well, they want to play safe, and what we've seen from North America, and they were even saying in their interviews, they're like, holy crap, everyone is flash engaging, flash hooking. Saint did it every time Flash was up, and Xpecial was trying to do it as well. They don't have Thresh this time, but maybe Korea won't be able to play safe.
It's going to be really difficult for them, right? They've got Diana, they've got Nautilus, they've got Lulu. All three of them are able to start out fights. You talk about the flash hooks. Those are really, really big. Rammus would be a pretty good pick, I suppose, to help start fights. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities really here. They've got pretty much their choice of jungle, aside from Lee Sin, which was banned, and the Nautilus that was taken, but everything else is basically available here. Honestly, it just depends how they want to play it. They can go any way with this.
Ooh, I like the picks that are showing on the screen right now. Personally, we'll have to see if they decide to lock them in. Looks like they could have very safe lanes here from what they depicted in their interview. So really just trying to test North America and see what kind of damage they want to put out here.
This is a really powerful team comp here from the Korean team. This actually reminds me of a little bit of the Chinese team back in their second game against NA. It was very, look, we're not going to start fights. You come to us, and we're going to make your life miserable. Rumble, Kennen, Zach, they all do very well when you jump in on them. The way the box works as well from Thresh, if you're running away as Thresh and put the box down, they've got to run through 2 walls to get to you instead of just one wall to get out. And so as a disengage or counter-engage team, this Korean lineup works really, really well for that. They're really safe, and they can crowd control everybody.
And this is more than once that the North American team has left Doublelift to be the last choice on this. There's CLG ask, what can he do? What can he be safest on? And then we'll find out how to protect that.
I think he's still got to be able to go in with his team. Ezreal makes a lot of sense here. True Shot Barrage will... Yeah, he got a Pentakill last time. He's got great cleanup potential as well. He's a second threat there with Rise as someone you really can't easily get rid of. And again, True Shot Barrage will participate in that fight. When the rest of his team dives in, you don't want Doublelift to dive in, but he can at least press R, and he will participate, much really like Rumble's Equalizer, so he'll be part of that dive comp.
We'll see if he decides to wound this one out and Arcane shift aggressively into the fights. Both teams have been locked in. Saint absolutely loving Nautilus recently.
Yeah.
Didn't really work for, I believe back in MLG it was tried, and then the Volibear, but it was kind of like, wow, that looked lackluster from them, and then something changed between now and then. He is absolutely a monster on Nautilus.
Nautilus is really, really huge now. We buffed up his early game jungle.
And that, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, we buffed up his early game jungle. He clears really, really fast, has amazing ganks as we saw before. He took down Soaz a whole bunch in the European match. And it's one of the new top junglers here, and it's worked well for Saint. He's practiced it so much. He's got a good feel for what the champion does, what he can get away with, and honestly, his early ganks are what's going to separate this game apart, because I think the North American squad needs to start out strong. They need to get to the point where even though they're fighting a Kennen and a Zac and guys like that, they can still dive in with a gold advantage and win that fight.
All right, so we're going to see this coming up. North American LCS All-Stars taking on the Korean LCL All-Stars. They're shy on your screen as they are poised and ready to match this one up. Freak, with the momentum, what are you thinking about this one? If Korea can come in this, they want to play lax, but usually they're the one to be taking turrets right away and going for objectives. How do you think this is going to work against North America?
It's really weird because you can't, in League of Legends, you can't play to not lose. You have to play to win, right? You can't be like, well, we'll just never screw up and then the fates will align and we'll just win the game because we're Korea. You can't do that. You can't be the favorite and just be like, well, we won't make any mistakes. You've actually got to do things to win the game. You actually must try and actually make some moves. You can't just prevent turrets from going down. So
it's true.
There needs to be some kind of aggression here from the Korean lineup. Now, Zac is a good ganker. Insect can make a lot of things happen. There is an opportunity here for these guys in blue, but they've got to play confident and actually try to take things, not just be like, well, America's worse than us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, North America versus the Korean LCS All-Stars, and we are underway onto the Rift for Game 1 of the series.
All right, so right off the bat, it's an early aggressive play from the Koreans. You're seeing them all run towards the top side. It has to be the support putting the ward down. Now, this is a smart play already from the Americans because they've made sure that they warded this tri-bush, expecting that sort of invade. So everyone knows where everyone is right now.
Slowly moving around. Not many wards towards the Wraiths just yet. They are going to try to position themselves a little more effectively here, but Korea putting a lot of aggression towards the top side of this, and they want to look to hinder Saint's jungle right away.
Well, so what I want to figure out is if North Americans see those champions yet, because they know the Koreans went into the jungle, and they might have warded and recalled, or they might have played super aggressively and tried to steal things away. Now, the ward that just came down from Skara would have spotted prey, so they know at least someone has left that jungle. They don't know how many. Never mind. There's Thresh, there's Rumble. They know that the Koreans have left their jungle. It's warded out, but they know there's no invade there.
See where they decide to move. The Wraith wards go down accordingly, just to all the matches that have happened this weekend. They need that vision on the jungler. And last time we really saw that Doublelift was one to go around them. They put the AD carry support middle. They were just thwarting what the jungler could do, and they were really trying to hurt that. We'll see if they can put the same pressure on Insect. Right now, it looks like they will again put the AD support mid and try and get that pressure on the jungler.
That's going to be really important for them. It gives them a lot of places to move. They've sent Skara into that sort of, I would have said garbage 1v2 lane, but you know, he is running to the top lane there. I'm trying to see where the Koreans move, and actually they're going to match almost every fight straight up. So we've got normal lane matchups just in weird locations. Dyrus will be 1v1ing Shy. Double Fitting Special will be 1v1ing Prey and Mad Life. So reading this one out though, I actually really like the Ezreal Lulu lane here though.
We'll see what they can do. It looks like Korea has put their AD carry support mid, as said, and they will try to push that down. You see there's not going to be as much pressure to the jungle here, so we'll have to see if North America can again react to this. They did not get this the last time in their game, and they will have to play this differently.
The funny thing is actually, you know, the junglers, yeah, they're getting revealed, but they're not getting stopped. They're going to get their level 3. And it's weird because they'll both get spotted making their way down to the side lanes. Oh, a fight on Doublelift.
Doublelift has to cleanse right away. The attack from Mad Life. Oh, they blasted for the shot. It's one more. Mad Life picks up first blood.
Absolutely beautiful play by Mad Life, proving himself the all-star. And hey, these guys won the skills competition. They're winning the game right now. already 3 minutes for first blood and just a 2v2.
So it was not very reactionary by NA. They did not expect that to happen in Korea already with the momentum push right there. It was not safe in guard play. It is in your face, and they are going to continue to do so. Here comes Insect from the side. Tyrus moves out very far without even a ward in the lane. Insect will put himself in, but Tyrus able to use the bush just for a bit of cover and easy safety.
Really good flash by Dyrus, and I didn't actually track it, but the thing is he has a ward in the tri-brush and would have seen if Insect went from Lizard through brush and into the river. And I don't know if he hopped the wall or what, but I mean, Dyrus should have known if he did go that way that Insect was waiting for him.
Insect playing in the mind of Skara in the bottom lane. Has to see what they can do. St. Vicious from the right side. He gets netted out. They give, oh, he runs towards it. He just gets the outside of the lantern, but Saint is going to pursue. They have vision on him so they can move in the correct position. A great catch on the prey. The crowd control is there with Riptide. They continue to go down Expressal. Can he get the glitter lance on? The lockdown on. Will it be up for double lift? They're waiting for him to get the auto attack in. It's only going to be one more. It's going to be a net over the wall. It's going to have to go to Skara on this one.
And they're fine with that. Getting Rise started early is so huge. Doublelift will get minion farm anyway. No one cares if he really gets kills early on. He'll still scale up, but Skara getting a fast tier, Skara getting a fast run of ages, that's where they want kill gold to go.
Very big for them, so they have reacted. I spoke too soon. North America did find themselves a kill. They just needed Saint out of the jungle, and it looks like he will be presenting himself once again towards the top lane.
Here we go, he's gonna look for this one. Ambition will spot him though, and the anchor won't land, so Ambition's safe. Toss the shuriken, cheeky there, he's fine.
Trying to get that extra damage back, saying, I know you're there, don't try it again. Frey back into the lane, Mad Life getting in there as soon as possible to shield on so they can stop this wave from getting to the turret and reset this lane up.
So I want to compare them in minion kills right now because now that both AD carries have died, Frey's actually sitting here at a minion kill lead anyway. So again, this 2v2 is very much going to the Korea's side, which is a big risk here because the Americans put so much faith and so much trust in Doublelift. If he doesn't actually get going this game, I said he'd farm, but if he actually doesn't, that's one of the major threats gone from this North American team.
Korea LCL team going with quite a few Dorans here. 2 for Caitlyn, 2 for Ambition as well as he's heading off versus Skara in that top lane.
And it's going to be a really fun matchup to watch overall. So far, they've held themselves pretty standard. The minion kills haven't gone anywhere. There's been no real jungle pressure from either one. But the funny thing is, if jungle pressure does start, Ambition gets away easily, Skara does not.
Oh, Doublelift doesn't have to cleanse from the last fight, and a very easy kill. He didn't have a support there and playing way too aggressive.
Now that is harsh for a double right there. Mad Life and Frey, neither of them had to flash for it. He just simply got caught by a death sentence. Not a good start for him.
So now Doublelift back, and Special's going to be forced to sit here and soak up this XP. That really is just going to go towards the turret and gold. So Insect now moving down again to the bottom lane. This is going to be very pressured here, if anything, just to soak up some experience.
He knows there are no wards at all. If Dyrus plays aggressively, he'll get caught out here. The shield's going to be on cooldown now. We'll see if Insect goes for anything here. He just can't find the opening.
Dyrus playing that smart Saint also with the Sixth Sense and the wards and in the river. He's going to be able to walk down on this one knowing Shy is there, or knowing rather the Insect was there, and they're going to be able to back this one off. Looks like he's going to soak up XP himself. Whoa!
Oh, he lands the
Ashes
stun.
top lane! Few more auto attacks. The Doran's coming up big for Ambition.
That was absolutely great by him. The early attack damage from Kennen is so good. He has great attack range and just he will constantly put that poke down on Rise. Rise can't play long range. He only can click on things that basically Kennen's auto attack range. He'll always take that poke. You saw him get worn down there.
And already just quick damage being purchased up here. Prey goes back, gets a pickaxe already for damage in the lane. It's a scepter for Doublelift.
This is interesting because I actually watched one of Doublelift's scrims a while ago and he said, man, it's disrespectful to buy a pickaxe early on. You need to save for a BF sword. And very rarely do you buy a pickaxe early, but Prey says, look, I want to get as much attack damage right now as possible. He's clearly going for Infinity Edge. He says, look, I just want to keep hitting you because we're winning this lane so hard.
With the options Mad Life creates, you know you're going to get more damage than usual down. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to be able to use this way more effectively than regular.
He does 25 more damage than Doublelift right now. Double has some extra sustain, but that's about it.
Here we go, Mad Life still sitting in the backside, but it's going to be Saint from the right as they push this lane. They try to get a bit of an advantage here. At least pull some pressure, maybe, from the jungle.
Yeah, this tells me that Doublelift wants to maybe back. No, he doesn't actually have really any items to buy for himself. It's just kind of some leech experience, but Skara's not in good shape.
Oh, Skara enters the lane and exits the lane just as quick.
Oh my gosh, this is looking so good for the Korean team. They said individually we're better, and they're really showing it here. No matter where you guys are going, it's looking better for the LCL. Darius getting harassed these last hits minions. I mean, every lane is honestly going the other way.
And that was a rough call there. Skara just went down in the top lane. Dyrus wasn't exactly really putting Shy down in the bottom lane, so he went into another lane where he was under-leveled. It's really hurting them right now. Got to make better decisions. Double it very low on mana. Insect in the jungle. These guys are everywhere. That NA does not want them to be. Ace in the hole there. Elastic slingshot. They can actually pick up this kill. Rep Buff was hitting double it a few more times. The last attacks to come in, and they take him down before he can get out. Also forcing the blast of Expenso. Capitalizing on kill number 2.
Mad Light flash for that one. That was amazing. The skill shots are landing. 6-1 the kill score now. The Korean LPL are starting this game out strong. Forget what I said about playing not to lose. They are playing to win. They're finding advantages, finding kills over and over. And this is really, really good lane play from them.
I don't even know if they are playing with safety. They're playing with true aggression. They are already onto that top lane. The slingshot onto Dyrus. And it looks like they're going to give him even more harass. Insect very low here, but he may be able to get himself out of this one. The buff's still on. And Dyrus flashes himself out of that situation.
Ambition has a no summoners up, couldn't quite reach Dyrus. The number of Bloblets Insect picked up there. He was taking damage, then healing as he got out. And just enough crowd control hit Dyrus. He missed the last Q there as well. He just barely snuck out of that battle. So, I mean, really, really nice fights here. The Koreans are just barely coming out ahead. And some of that actually comes from the fact that, you know, the fights that would have been close are now snowballing away because of the experience and gold advantage.
Dyrus just hitting level 7 as he gets to the lane to a level 8 ambition as he tries to pressure, teleporting back in as he just got pushed out. Break this down now, coming up to about 10 minutes into the matchup. Jungler's going for those Spirit Stones. Really not too many core items going in. It's been very chaotic.
Yeah, no one's been really back to buy anything huge just yet. I mean, it's early on in the game. We're just hitting 10 minutes now, so they're getting their build started out. And all I can really point out is some early Magic 10 from Shy. He's got the fast haunting guys, standard item for him, but it really means that he's going to do a lot of damage to his opposition. Skara has no bonus resist. He only has that Ruby Crystal. He will lose a 1v1 so hard against Rumble here. He's got to get zoned out.
Sight stones for both supports to keep obviously that vision on the map, but we've seen that just controls the entire game. It's been brute force for the Korean LCL team so far as they start to throw down the wards. We'll see how the pressure continues.
Well, the next major objective for them really is Dragon. They've got control of it. It's really theirs whenever they want to go for it. They just got to push out the lane, make sure they don't miss out on minions, and then they have 1,000 gold is waiting for them where they want it.
Only looking at that one death on Prey right now that he got caught out, and they have played so positionally, or they have positioned so well after that it hasn't been a chance NA has been able to grab. And really, we haven't seen Saint been able to anchor toss anything. He's not getting those chances. They're not giving it to him.
He's tried, but everyone's playing safely enough. There's enough wards there from the Korean squad. There's no openings. Like, we watched PDD 1v2 Saint and Dyrus a while ago. This same thing would happen to Shy.
It looks like Skara getting a little bit of damage down to him. He should be okay though. Insect just off on the wing could have been some trouble.
All right, here's Saint making his next move, looking for Mad Life and Prey, but minions are gonna stop Saint. He's not gonna get anything out of that one.
That's, yeah, such an unfortunate thing. You have to time a wave to gank with Nautilus, and that was mistakenly timed.
It's kind of like the story of the game for this American squad, really. They're looking for opportunities, and we just didn't quite get it. We almost killed in second force pass. Nope, that didn't quite work as well. It's kind of over and over there. And the thing is, because they're now down in gold, it's going to happen more and more. Fights they should have won will get turned around by a level in gold advantage.
And that becomes stress on the mental gameplay. You go in and you think it's going to be that last bit of health you can get, but the cookie crumbles in the wrong way and somebody gets the shield out. Like you said, it's been happening over and over again, and it's going to start deterring North America from really wanting these engages and only looking for the mistakes from Korea, which, like I've said, are pretty far from there.
Yeah, that's pretty damaging. Right now for North America, they have to give the Dragon. They can't fight a real team fight. What their team does do very well is open up for picks. The Saint Vicious ultimate, the Dyrus dive into Rune Prison, and all the Ezreal damage. The ability to just like find someone out of position is there. You know, it's one thing that the Chinese team did very, very well in their last game that we saw yesterday is if you find someone, you can kill them. You have the damage output and the individual burst there. But that's the only opening these guys really have right now.
Like Zach quickly getting the golem under his belt there, and it is going to be mobility boots again. Saint always going for that buy first to create openings.
it's interesting to see sort of how Saint has I guess matured as a player, because we used to always call him this carry jungler, right? He would never play champions like Nautilus and Maokai. It was surprising when we first saw him start playing it, but he's playing the more supportive role for his team. It's not that he's deferring farm, he's clearly got a lot of minions for himself, but you know, his role on the team, he's got guys like Skara and Double F who farm so incredibly well for a living that he's had to play a little bit more of a supportive role, and he's learned more of these supportive tank junglers, and it's worked well for him actually. He's usually getting pretty well.
Oh, an Ambition, level 10 versus a double level 7 double lift and special. It's gonna be a 2v1 for him in that lane if he wants the kills. Insect meets with him, and anytime soon, Insect picking up the blue buff right now. Hopefully he's gonna start heading towards that top lane.
Really, he doesn't have to give blue to anyone else. Skara, though, it could be the... Yeah, that's Skara burning down. There you can see the 1v1 potential from Shy. So strong.
Shy still having his way with anybody that has been in his lane. It was Dyrus, then it was Skara. Anybody else want to come? He is taking numbers right now. 7-1 at 14 minutes for the Korean LCL All-Stars. Sitting on a ward, but Insect still looks like he can make something happen with this.
He's gonna look for him. He's gonna get pulled into the turret. Here we go.
Ambition going with the Slicing Maelstrom in. Like I said, these guys are levels 10, above the 8s and 7s. Here comes Spray on the side. They're able to take one down. That's a special first. They are hardly taking any damage as they dive. Madlife actually taking aggro. He's gonna stand there and eat the turret shots for his team. Beautiful play, and they're still going in. Double it, low on mana, low on health, low and in the death chamber. The turret to follow.
That was absolutely great by the Korean squad. As you called it, Madlife said, all right, I'll sit here and take turret aggro. I don't do much damage at this point. My CCs are down. I got no cooldowns. I'll just let you guys finish the dive. No big deal. And the thing is, right, Insect's passive was not down. He just got to tank the rest of the turret aggro and just split the Bloblets. A 3 for nothing is huge for them. They're going to get another turret for it as well.
And a finished item here coming up for Rumble is going to be an Abyssal Scepter. That's going to synergize with Zac, with Slicing Maelstrom and Kennen on Ambition. They are about to get so much stronger in team fights, and they're just pushing the lanes right now.
And that's really one of the brutal things, is you talk about gold leads and how much it means for an individual player. Man, Shy can 1v1 Scar. Okay, true. But think about how much it synergizes, how much it means for their actual team fight. Because, right, the Abyssal Scepter, as you mentioned from Shy, is going to make Zac and is going to make Kennen deal more damage. Kennen so far, he got to get 2 Doran's Blades and a Haunting Guise, and then still get Zhonya's on time. So his damage is stupidly high, which hits everyone on the North American team as well. The team fights are so incredibly good. The 4v3, you saw it happen. They got 2 turrets and 3 kills for nothing there. The lead just keeps growing for the Korean squad. They're playing it beautifully.
It's Kennen Ambition, so close to Azania's right now. 15 minutes into the game, the Infinity Edge finished at 14-20 on Prey. These guys are items, mounds, and oodles ahead right now.
All right, so let's see if the North American team can do something to flip around. I still feel their only opening is finding some kind of pick. They still have mechanics. They have the ability to start fights, and here it is, a 2-on-1 against Shy.
Looks good. Dyrus able to do a bit of damage there. Shy is going to be in a 3v1 here. They are going to get Skara some damage. Wow, he's almost able to take out Dyrus. They are not killing him just yet. The depth charge across the wall. Good damage, the final Q from Skara, but it took quite a bit to take down one player.
Took a heck of a lot of effort. They burned a couple of flashes as well. But Dyrus and Skara both lost theirs just for the 1, but they got a kill and they got a little bit of shutdown gold, I believe 350 for a 2-0 champion. So better than nothing, but they've got to find a lot more of those pretty quickly.
Everybody helping, synergizing, and doing well. Even Madlife 2-0-4 right now on the kills. He is actually looking to build a locket for his team to continue on that synergizing.
Exactly, that he's got to sort of get himself in a situation where he can have his team actually tank and survive this. The damage output from the Korean squad is area of effect, right? And it's area of effect magic damage. So Locket and Runic Bulwark make a lot of sense here for the North American team. They really need both. They need them right now. And that's actually kind of one of the funny things about Saint's build is, now, Spirit of the Ancient Golem is very good. It's a strong item, but it's 2,000 gold you've spent on not Locket, not Bulwark. And because none of his ganks have really worked, he's had so little kill gold and no global gold. He's so behind in items, there just aren't any auras for the Americans. And over the next 10 minutes, there still won't be any auras.
And a thing that spells power, a thing that spells confidence, see Insect picking up a needlessly large rod for his second item.
That's really, really surprising to me.
Who does this?
Yeah, it's not common at all. It's him saying, look, I'm really, really powerful. Now,
yeah.
You know Insect kind of considers himself a carry jungler, and he's kind of played that way, but you still would normally see an aura come out of that guy and just be like, yo dog, like the idea of a carry item for Zac is like Spirit Visage. Like, I'll heal more and have lower cooldowns, not I'm gonna build a death cap.
All right, we'll see what they can continue to go. We got a few haunting guys. Oh, God, coming in from the side. The ace of the hole is going to scar. Wow, down to 400 HP. A few more attacks. Wild growth just off to the side. The saving grace from Xpecial.
And look at that. Insect gets to dive a turret against Rise, take turret aggro, get knocked up by Lulu, and then walk out saying, well, we tried, no big deal. Like, that's how powerful and how far ahead they are.
And I have to say, the Xpecials played the other day, one playing against Zach. The polymorphs on Let's Bounce were amazing, but they are not getting the chance to even do that this time. They're focusing even Xpecial in the fights to die for that crowd control to be wiped.
And that's really what happens to the Korean squad. They're so area effect based that if they try to kill any one member, they'll still probably hit everyone else on top of that anyway. So it's not like they lose out by focusing on a support, because they're still hitting the entire enemy team.
Oh, there's a flash! The execution goes in! They are going to try to get on a safe Vicious, and they do take him down!
That's just so much damage from them. A great hook from Mad Life, a great knockup as well from Insect. These guys, they don't have a ton of cash, but if the right guys hit spells, they're going to get a free kill.
Dyrus doing what he can, trying to throw out some Qs, but it looks like they will be able to grab this turret. They are already knocking on the front door here. All outer turrets have been taken down before 20 minutes.
That is so fast from them. So again, never mind about them playing not to lose. They are completely running in here and fighting advantages. Insect dives the turret for 3 minions killed. That's how.
Vision.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you can't kill me. You don't have enough crowd control or damage or anything. I'm Zach. Bring it. And this is happening like over and over again. Like all I can talk about is these guys look on point. And the thing to remember is, I mean, I'm kind of looking in the future here, but the finals of this tournament are going to be played today, and the Koreans look this good already.
It's going to be scary, because you now have a Zanyas on Zach. He went from that needlessly large rod and said, oh, wait, another paycheck just came in. Bam, finishing that. 2 Zanyas before 20 minutes for these guys, both Ambition and Insect, 3-0 and 2.
So now all they have to do is look at how they close the game out. The individual play has been very, very good. A lot of this has come out. Dyrus going to get found out by Shy.
There we go, going in on Dyrus. He knows he's got to stay. Fight it, nose to nose. He goes down, and Shy takes his shield.
God, they're just huge right now. Again, you know, the lanes, they all won without jungler help. They just beat him straight up, and Devil's going to lose his style and ambition. Only 127 gold for that kill. Devil's had a pretty rough game so far, 0-5 and 1. They've got 2 guys off the map. They can take an inhibitor here.
They have taken the most 1v1 skill matchups, and it has seemed like the lanes have been won in their skill matchups here. 13-2. It's going to be a 12,000 gold lead 20 minutes into the game with 6 turrets to 0. The chokehold being put on the North American LCS team.
They're up 50% in gold. That's not a number you see very often. It's 24 to 36. I say 20% is the part where you've got to start really, really worrying. This is 50% extra gold from our opposition. Like, honestly, I suppose they're not going to surrender because the game means a heck of a lot, but I mean, this is a clinic for how to.
This is the CLG Legion. This is where NA needs to figure out how and why they are doing this, install it, so they can not let it happen in the second game. They need to figure out what Korea is doing so well.
At this point, I would say our discussion turns to not this game anymore, but look, we'll defend, we'll do whatnot, but let's figure out the picks and bans. You only get so much time between a game to prepare yourself. Champions like yourself is only so long. They've got to say, okay, look, what went wrong here? Was an individual play that went wrong? You know, we heard from the interview with Liquid. He talked to the team after the Chinese game. He said, okay, what mistakes we made? 1, 2, 3. Okay, anyone else? You. Okay, we'll move on. Here's what we fixed. Right, play on to the next match.
We'll have to see if they can do it this time. They do need to bring that thought process back around. Very grim here for the North American LCS team, but another match to go. It is a best-of-3 series, and they know everything needs to be put on the line for the second game. This one not yet over, but very grim, like I said, for North America. Korea is just kind of waiting for that last final push. They have more core items in general than anybody on the team.
Exactly. They've got kind of everything they really need to play the game completed. That I think could sit here and not farm for the next 5-10 minutes and still be effective. Vicious gets dropped down to half. I mean, Skara, for what it's worth, is growing. He's getting himself towards the Archangel staff. He's only like 700 gold away still, but if the Koreans actually give him the time to farm for the 6 waves, he'll have that. I mean, the power is still going to grow from the American squad. Just
Teleport coming in from Dyrus. There's the ace in the hole. They try to put damage on him right away. Shy flashes into the fight behind Dyrus so he doesn't get locked up. And it's going to be Saint taking so much damage. Ambition just taunted them in front of their base. Low health. health, and they're still alive to push 5 on in.
This is going to be probably the next for the Korean squad. Shirelli's going to pop it up. They dive on forward. That is actually the surrender coming out. 22 minutes and 50 seconds in. North America says, GG, well played, guys. And an absolutely well-deserved win.
Amazing game by Korea, methodically planned out, one step after the other. It was great by North America to pick up that kill coming onto Prey, but really, I think that was the only time that Prey fell in the game. After that, was it that one kill? One kill, right?
They got one kill on the Prey fairly early on from the Saint gang, and then they 3-on-1 against Shy
in the bottom lane, because he got away after 4 people attacked him. So, huge play coming from Korea right now in this. The North American All-Stars definitely have some thinking to do before game 2.
You got to make sure, right, if you're a North American fan, you got to hope that your players are focused, that they are discussing and talking about it. We've seen teams shut down after a loss, right? You know, before game 1, they're joking around. Yeah, we know what we're doing is going to be great. Game 1 loss, and you just like zone in at your monitor. You don't talk. You've got to get the discussion going. You've got to make sure you know what to do and to change in game 2.
Fresh is scary, but that's what NA has to do. They brought out that, it wasn't new where they put the support in, support AD carry mid, but they pressured the jungle so much that it shut down the roam of their opposing team. They have to do something different because they tried it again and like, we'll shut down the roam, and they said, we'll just put our guys mid, and we completely countered your strat that won you your game.
Yeah, that 2v2 lane was so incredibly powerful for those guys. The Mad Life Prey lane was super on point. They won the skill matchup. We said that a few times already.
Yep.
But the Thresh hooks were great, and there's a reason they call him Godlife, right? They grabbed his Thresh early on. It wasn't even the first pick. Like, it got through 3 picks before they said, okay, no, seriously, we want Thresh at this point. I mean, that's got to be a forced ban for North America unless Xpecial plays it.
We will have to see. Right now, we're going to send it over to Joe and Jat to break down the highlights from Korea's dominating Game 1 performance.
Thanks a lot, guys. And Jat, it's hard to really talk too much about this game because the Koreans came out flying and they didn't once take their foot off the gas pedal.
No, this game really went from bad to worse to just an absolute catastrophe. And this was one of the moments towards the road of just destruction.
Yeah, and we already knew how strong the Koreans were going to be coming into this tournament. But when they turned up, obviously their win against Europe earlier on was a very strong game. They looked unstoppable here in Game 1 against North America, if we're honest.
And specifically, it was with their fearlessness. Let's get into this clip, actually, because Korea already had a fairly large lead in this game. You can see 21,000 to 15.7 thousand, but it's just NA thought they had a counter gank because St. Fitch was waiting in the turret, but Korea was one step ahead and then they fearlessly dove. So let's actually roll this clip. Right now, you can see Insect gets hooked in by St. Fitch's, but immediately just starts bouncing around. And North America at this point was already so far behind that they didn't have the damage. The thing to note in this is how well Korea does this tower dive. Mad Life recognizes his job. He had the most health coming in, and he also does the least damage. So he doesn't even think about trying to get involved. He makes sure he gets the turret aggro taken so that everyone else can freely just hit North America under the turret. It was a 4v3, but the turret didn't matter because Mad Life traded some of his health for it. It was a great execution by Korea.
And I think one of the big things in there was Zach, you know, the fact that he is a master tower diver, because if he does get his passive pops and he goes into those 4 blobs on the ground, the turret actually switches aggro out to someone else, so he can quite freely have that passive come in for him and stay alive at the end.
And on top of that, when he had so many allies around him, you're not going to stick around to be able to finish off the blobs when North America was already low on damage. So, I mean, Freak was just talking about how many, how they might not want to let Thresh through in bans, but there was a little bit too much threat all over the place. It wasn't just Thresh, it was everybody on Korea.
So let's talk a little bit about Game 2. That's going to be coming up here in just a little minute. They're going to be moving over onto the blue side here in North America. What do they need to change in terms of bans and picks? We were all almost not cringing, but saying, ooh, when a few of those champions actually got through for Korea.
I think the biggest one where we all went, oh crap, is when they got Rumble. When Shy was able to lock in that Rumble. Because we've seen PDD dominate with it absolutely all weekend. And that's definitely one of the adjustments for North American and even European teams coming over to China here is just the amount of skill that both the Korean team and the Chinese team possess with Rumble, because they've been playing it for actually a lot longer than North American has, and they are just flat out better at it.
Well, thanks a lot, Jack. We'll be back after game number 2 to break down a little bit more from that. Guys, don't go anywhere. The second game in this best-of-3 between the Korean LCL All-Stars and the North American LCS team is just moments away. 2013 League of Legends All-Star Weekend will be back right after these messages.